So particle physics is a pretty small world, and so I spent 2 years at UCLA where I overlapped with David Salzberg, who's the science advisor for the Big Bang Theory. And so they went to him to say, who should we talk to in Boston? And they sent props and set dressing to me and tried to teach them what a particle physics lab should be like.
And James?
Yeah, so when they came to Lindley, she gave them a tour of all the labs at the Lab for Nuclear Science, and one of the labs she showed them was my helium polarization lab. So they took a bunch of pictures and showed them to the director, Paul Feig, and he saw my lab and apparently pointed at it and said, give me that thing, and I guess I was in the background of these pictures, and I imagine he's pointing at me and saying, give me that nerd. So they essentially just asked me to replicate my lab for the set, yeah.
And they did that with you, Lindley, also? Get some of your lab in there?
They needed to understand what the lab looked like, and what apparently they heard from the director about my labs, he thought, well, those labs are gritty and dirty. That's exactly what I wanted. So they were used to more of like the acrylic and stainless steel that you often see in science fiction. Like, no, our labs are much more like Ghostbusters than like Star Trek.
Yeah, and more like the original Ghostbusters too. Now, your apparatus led you both down a rabbit hole to giving even more assistance. James, tell us, how much did you end up doing? What was your help besides having your lab there?
Yeah, well, so I guess having my lab there meant I had to, like, produce machine drawings for them and borrow some derelict equipment from the MIT Bates Accelerator and stuff like that. But then, so if you watch the movie, you can actually see the big copper hoops of, like, the Helmholtz coil magnets for my polarizer. But then when I was on the set, I actually got to chat with the actors, with Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig and Kate McKinnon, and explain what my experiment was and how it worked. And then after that, Paul Feig actually asked me to diagram all these props with realistic terminology. And since this hardware is really pretty central to the movie, it led to a lot of other little bits of consulting on the script and such.
Do you actually have your own proton pack?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a prototype, I guess.